So what you saw there is exactly why I have not filmed this particular job inside for like 6 years. Been doing that inside a liquor store for a long time, and I've thought about filming for a long time. And basically what happened there was that when I took the neon away, some of the middle brackets hold on to the frame up top, and I always have to pull those away pretty hard to get it to come off. I have to pull it hard because if I pull it slowly, it starts bending the top once. It's a pretty heavy neon. And usually I kind of skip it once, the next time do it. I try to do it very minimally because of that. So what happened there was the chain on the right side broke off. And it's so heavy, I sat there kind of caught off guard, didn't even know what was happening because this has not happened there before with that one. But it brings me back to like why I wanted to show this is because cleaning behind those neons though can be super difficult. And so what I do is I have my 18-inch sleeve, an 18-inch, usually a wide body channel. I usually go away from my slim channel and go to my wide body because it's a lot easier to control with straight pulls and when I can't see some things. And then I have a short little 2-foot Gerlich pole. And it works perfectly for getting up there and just getting right underneath. It has no clamps on the actual pole, so it's super smooth. It won't catch the neon, where I think that's the only pole really out there that does that. And then basically at this job though, the first part where I start has some windows where they used to have the whole storefront window, but they've built up advertisement wall, and basically behind that wall that I'm cleaning on right now, there's whole glass panes that go all the way down to the ground. So I do those top panes, and the funny thing is there's a bunch of wine and stuff, so I don't ladder them. Gets a few drips on the shelves there, but not really bad. They've never ever said anything. We've been cleaning them for such a long time. They're really cool. They really understand like what's going on. There's windows that I can get that are in there, but I've only done them a couple times in like 5 years because it winds up nothing's long enough and I can't get enough control at the very end of it to make it look really good. So it's almost like if you're going to make it look bad and there's, an area that large where it's just going to be drip marks you can see from the outside, most of the time I say, I would rather almost be hazy because they can't even really see through it except for a little bit. So I almost rather it be hazy than have big drip marks coming from the inside. Go on from there. I have this whole section that always faces the sun in the morning. I do that always right in the sun. It kind of doesn't matter. And basically what I do, I pull the neon away, I'll wet the window, and then put the neon back. Even if it has the rubber things that hit the glass, you know what? These windows are not going to be perfect. They're just not going to be behind neons. They just want, in a liquor store like that, for it to be shiny if they care about their windows. A lot of liquor stores, from my experience, don't really care about their windows. So basically what I do is I use the step ladder because I've used a stack ladder before. The problem with the stack ladder is when you put it right up in the middle of like 2 neons or even by side of 1 neon, to like go like this and creep in and do it, it just doesn't work. It just does not work at all. For me, it's very awkward. I have a bad right shoulder, so this arm doesn't, really bend the way it should. I just don't like it. That's why I use I think that's a 5-foot step ladder. I use the 5-foot step ladder, and it's like the perfect height. And sometimes I have to use my trad pole, the 12-foot trad pole, but that's just to use the 4-foot. And then most of the time, though, if I can get pretty close to the glass, like you see on the left side, compared to where those little ice cream coolers are, in front of the ice cream coolers, I have to use the trad pole on the step ladder. And then pretty much the whole rest of the job I can do with just the little mini pole. And then I try to wipe off as many ledges as possible, but just as what's possible, You work your way over to the entrance, With that, I just ladder both the sides, pull the top ones, and then right over where the doors, the sliding door that everybody comes out, that gets really annoying because as I'm doing it, people are coming in and out, in and out, in and out. There's a neon up there to the right that they changed recently. It's huge. It's bigger than the neon that I almost broke, and that one I don't do. It's just too big. It's an awkward area. And what happens with a lot of theirs is they have not hooked the actual chain hooks into the little hole on the top metal part. What they've done is they just loop the metal rings there. So if you pull the neon away and you keep on going like this, the chains just slide and the neon can fall. So that's something to be super, super careful of when cleaning behind neons. Now you could say to yourself, why don't you have somebody there helping you hold the neons? I could have somebody, I did it one time where I had a pole in my left hand and then the scrub on my right hand and then squeegee with my right hand. It worked, but it was just like, it was kind of scary because every time you put the pole up there to bring a neon back, you were afraid you're going to break the neon. So it just wasn't worth the money to risk that. Sometimes some people would say it's not even worth the risk of getting behind the neons. But I like to do some of the hard stuff. I think the reason why people hire professionals is to get the hard stuff, right? And then pretty much the rest of the job is pretty smooth. It's just the neons, but I wanted to make this video because you just need to be super, super careful. With the one that, kind of broke, I always tell customers about that kind of stuff. Even if it's a person there that I haven't ever talked to. Luckily, these people know me really, really well. I fixed it, but at the same time, I let them know, hey, here's what happened. And when I said to the guy, he goes, yeah, I saw that happen. It was pretty scary. And I'm like, yeah, I said, I fixed it. If you want to go up there, take a look at it, though, because he puts them up all the time, check it out. He checks it out. Hey, man, all good. So just, even if you fix it, it's good to let them know. They've probably caught you on camera. If they look at it or not, I get a little paranoid about that stuff. I want to have very good communication with the customer, so I always tell them. But it's just so funny to me because literally this was the reason why I was never going to film at that job, because I was so worried of something like that happening. And I think sometimes when I film, I'll go a little quicker, try to make everything look really, really good, and look what happened, right? So it was quite funny. But those tools that I use, I think those are great. I just use the Unger Ninja for most of this stuff, and it worked out really, really well. But those are kind of my tips, and you can kind of see more of the tips in the video about cleaning behind neons. It's just more, it's obstacles in your way. If you get used to cleaning around obstacles all the time and not moving everything, move the fragile stuff, of course. Always move fragile stuff. If a customer doesn't want you to move it, do not move it. Don't say, oh no, I got it. Meh. Don't do that. Just be the guy that listens and does what they want. But like sometimes at customers' houses, if there's a huge couch in front of the window, I ask the customer, is it okay if I step on your couch? If you ask the customer and they say okay, then okay. I've had many customers tell me, no, I'd rather you not, then pull away the couch. But not moving that couch sometimes can save a lot of time, especially if it's really, really heavy. So, by the way, this is not my usual work shirt. I woke up this morning, put my sweatshirt on because my house was cold, and this was a shirt I wound up wearing to work. I don't suggest wearing this to work. It's not very professional. So, yeah, that's it. But cleaning behind neons kind of sucks. Definitely take your time. Takes a while to get fast at it. I do that inside of that place in about 45 minutes. So it doesn't take too long, but I'm really, really used to it. There's some neons, I've been to other places where if they're suction cupped or anything like that, I never take them away. They have to be really, really well installed for me to feel confident to pull them away. We do not have many jobs like that. Some we won't even pull them away, but a step ladder is a good option. I don't suggest putting a pole up there, have one person bring it away and another person squeegee it. It's just a lot of things can happen. There's a lot of different lips on the tools that we have that can catch something like that, and you don't want to get, as far as what I know, the water on the sleeve on the neon. That can ruin the neon. I haven't had it happen. I've been burnt by neons. They do get extremely hot, some of them. And like I've even hit it with my mop, and you can hear it sizzle and stuff like that. So just be super careful when cleaning behind neons. And I hope this video is helpful for some tips as far as cleaning behind neons, and you see what could possibly happen. I know it didn't look too dramatic, but it was dramatic to me. If any of you know about possibly breaking things at jobs, it's pretty scary. But I gotta go. I gotta eat my lunch and go meet up with the team. So talk to you later. Bye-bye.